What is up, wrestling fans? Welcome to episode number 238 of the Smark Moment Smack Talk podcast. I am your host, Tony Mango. Joining me on the mic for this episode, we've got Stephen Wago.
Yo.
Kaylin Ferris.
And I said 2 pineapples aren't enough.
Fantastic. I love that inside joke. And we also have you guys listening. Thank you all for listening in, everybody. We are going to give you a breakdown of Money in the Bank predictions as our main event. We're going to give you the hot tags in part 2. We've got a little bit of a break in the third part for the rest hold. I think it's the shortest rest hold I've had in the longest time. So breeze through that one and listen to the plugs I have to say. We have the Fantasy League at the end of the show. Spoiler alerts. Nothing to really report there. We are going to be doing some interesting things here in part 1, which is the wrestling trivia question of the week, otherwise known as the Ask Him.
Ask him.
And if you don't know what that is, it's pretty simple. We have 2 questions. First one goes to the panel, and the second one goes to the audience. They tie in together in some fashion, some centralized theme or something along those lines. And we're going to backtrack to last week's questions, which were about the NXT TakeOver events. The question to the panel was, which 2 wrestlers competed in the first match at an NXT TakeOver event? And that was technically the dark match of Bayley versus Sasha Banks. But, you know, if you go with the card itself without the dark match thing, Adam Rose defeating Camacho. Yeah, those 2 aren't around anymore. Question to the audience, though, was which superstar has had the most amount of wins at NXT TakeOver events? And the answer to that one was Finn Balor. So, let's break down who said what here in our comments. Turkmania gets it correct with Finn Balor. David Brown says, tricky, I'll go for Finn Balor. Ding, 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 you also get that correct. Christopher Marin, I'll guess Balor. You get it correct, too, because I'm in a good mood, and you answered it correctly. Raw Watcher says, I'll pick Finn Balor, too. He's in a lot of takeovers. The Dominator 39 says, Teddy Hart or David Benoit. Close, but no cigar. Peter Piccinini says, I'm catching up on NXT. Samoa Joe just debuted, so Finn Balor, maybe. Everybody's really doing a good job here, except for that Dominator. And Bobby Lesnar G86 says, Finn Balor has been there the longest time and wins almost every one of them, so he gets that correct as 2. And he also says, you guys are childish, which is also correct. So, let's see here what we got for this week's set of questions, which are going to be about Money in the Bank, because I had a bunch of those saved up. And why not?
All right.
Question to the panel here. Who cashed in their Money in the Bank briefcase in the shortest amount of time?
Kane.
Yeah, there you go. Now, just because that's an easy one, who cashed it in the second shortest amount of time?
Edge
with 1 day after he took it from Kennedy.
Woo.
I hate that that's a Money in the Bank win. You didn't even win it in a Money in the Bank ladder match.
That's kind of cheap.
If you throw that out, then who's the next person in line with a legitimate win?
Jack Swagger?
Jack Swagger, 2 days is all he waited. Or technically, since it didn't air, it's a couple more days than that. But yeah, so Kane less than a day, Edge 1 day, Swagger 2 days, and then you count for tape delays and such like that. But question to the audience here is the opposite end of this. Who waited the longest to cash in their Money in the Bank briefcase? And if you want to kind of continue that going, tell us the second and the third, too, if you think you might know that one. Why not? Nobody wins anything anyway, so it doesn't really matter. But if you want to know the answer to that one, just tune in next week. We'll tell you that. But if you want to leave a comment below guessing it, or send a tweet at Smark Moment with the hashtag AskHim, then we'll read down what you guys have to say. But we're going to continue on in part 2 with the hot tags of the week. Stay tuned, everybody. Smack Talk is coming right back.